Ah, that feels good. Today is gray. It is a typical April rainy, gray, cold day, and it's a perfect day to do a knitting video. Bonjour everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Luisa, and for today's video we are going to talk about knitting, and I'm quite excited about doing this video because your girl has gotten back into the hobby of knitting. It's been a while, over 12 years since I last knit, and to be honest, I think this time I may keep this hobby for way longer than I ever did before. I am going to share with you how I learned to knit, what my relationship with knitting is. I'm going to share with you what I knit so far, what's on my needles right now, my small yarn stash, and finally I'm going to share with you what's in my Ravelry favorite, which are projects that I would like to do in the future, but I'm not sure I'm going to. But I'll share them with you so that you can see. I will try my best to put all the links to the products I'm showing, my Ravelry, the people, YouTubers that I'm talking about, down in the description box below. If you guys are enjoying the content of this video, please help me out by giving me a little thumbs up or leaving a little comment down below. And if you see yourself coming back for more videos, feel free to subscribe to my channel. This channel is about me, Luisa, a single mom of two, a 12-year-old and a 2-year-old. I'm also a life coach. I share with you my life through some little vlogs. I'm sharing with you the stuff that I love to do, the products that I love to use. And I am also a health and life coach. So once in a while, I post a video about my little hacks to live a better life, a healthier life, a good workout, you know, the things to eat and things like that. Voila, my love. With no further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, so I learned how to knit when I was 7 to 8 years old. I don't have a lot of memory except for the fact that it didn't seem to be as difficult as I thought it would be once I got the hand, you know, the hand gesture. It was just a matter of repeating it over and over again. I remember learning how to purl, how to knit, and how to change skins. And my mom had 3 colors for me, and I made a little blanket for my fluff toys and my little dolls, and I was so happy, and that was my first experience with knitting. Then fast forward to my 20s, my early 20s, I was a student in Paris, and I took on knitting again, and I remember making a lot of scarves, a shawl for my mother, until I moved to New York to start modeling, and I kind of put it on the side. I was not really as interested. Yeah. Oh, and I remember then I wanted to do a scarf with a hood, and I couldn't find anything, any pattern or nothing online to help me make that. And I remember being very frustrated and trying to figure it out myself, how to do the increase, and not being successful. And I think that's why I stopped at the time. We're talking about early 2000s. There was no, I didn't find any knitting community. YouTube wasn't really much of a thing. It was just the beginning, so there was no community on YouTube back then. And then I got pregnant with Ella, and I wanted to knit a baby blanket, which I did. I used the wrong yarn. I did it all in mohair. It was super itchy, but I finished the blanket, and then I starched it, and I never never used it. And that's the last time I knitted. That was 2011, 2012. And then fast forward to January of this year, 2025, I saw my daughter crocheting this amazing star blanket. So I taught Ella how to crochet 2 summers ago. I didn't really think she would pick it up, but next thing you know, the girl is crocheting amazing stuff like little figurines and this amazing star blanket that was, the pattern is from, what's the name of the lady? She has a cute name, Betty McNeat. I love her name, it's so cute. It's extremely popular on TikTok and on, I guess, on YouTube also. and she started to do the pattern. She even got in touch with Betty McNeat over Instagram. The lady was kind enough to get back to her and help her get over the problem she was facing. And you guys, let me show you right there the blanket that she made, and that's not even the finished blanket. Like she was not done at the time I filmed this. And my daughter inspired me to, well, just start doing something again. I started to crochet with her a little bit, and then the thing is, I enjoy crochet, but it's not really my jam like that. Like, I prefer to knit. I prefer the movement of knitting, and I really like the end result of knitting. I think it's more refined, it's finer, it's more delicate. Crochet tend to be a little bit more bulky. But the good thing with crochet is that once you start a project, you're done in 2 minutes. You can be done doing a sweater in one weekend, when for knitting it's gonna take you weeks or months. Weeks if you're good. For me, I know it's gonna take me like months. January. So then the whole month of January, I started to build up this wanting for making, for creating, and for knitting. I started to look online at the knitting community, and I was amazed to see how rich and fun this community is. I also was so happy to see that actually there's so many tutorial videos that I can pick up this hobby and push it to the next level way easier than it has been for me before, right? So far all I was doing was scarf and blankets and shawls. Now I can maybe make a sweater or a cardigan by following a video, you know. Also, this is when I discover, of course, a lot of different YouTubers, but more specifically a girl, which I forgot her name, but her YouTube channel is called Kutova Kika. And I discovered her video on how she made her own, how she knitted her own wedding dress. I will link the video down there. You guys, this video is so rich in emotions and suspense, and you're like, is she gonna make it? She brings us through the whole process of making her wedding dress, of knitting her wedding dress. I highly recommend it. Again, I'll link it down below. This pattern maker, knitting designer, came up with, of course, several patterns, but one being the Darling cardigan. And with that pattern comes a video that's available on her YouTube channel that helps you through every step of the way. So once you buy the pattern, you have the video as a backup to help you if you're stuck with the pattern. And that was the reason why I bought her pattern. I felt secure enough to start making my first cardigan, because I knew that if I don't understand what's written, I can see it, and there's no way I'm not going to be successful if I have both, right? So far I've been knitting for, I want to say, février, mars, avril, 2.5 months. It's not a lot. I started in February and it's mid-March as when I'm filming this video. What I can tell you is that this hobby allows me to disconnect from my phone, to disconnect from my life for just a little bit. It allows me to make something, to create something from scratch, which I love so much. I like the idea that I am making a piece of clothing that is of a higher quality, because I like to use yarn that is like 100% wool or 100% cashmere. I know it's going to last me for a long time because I am making the product. I know that I'm going to wear it because I am making the product to fit my body. I like the idea of not buying a sweater from H&M for $24.99 every 6 months, because after washing it 3 times it looks like a mop, right? I don't know, I just like how more conscious I am about what I'm wearing, where I'm spending my money. Also, we're entering a time that is very difficult. Personally, from the separation that I had, I have to watch my budget. So the idea of making something that I'm going to use for years to come, that is going to be of high quality and that is going to be perfect for my style because I'm tailoring it to my body type, I am so excited about all that. I have to say it's a win-win situation. Now I'm having a little bit of dilemma in this whole equation, which will come to when I show you my yarn stash and we'll discuss about it. But so far, the fact that I am able to disconnect from my phone, to relax a little bit before bedtime, to create a garment that I will be wearing for hopefully years to come, which means that in the back end I am spending less money in fast fashion. That makes me happy. All right, so now that I talk about my relationship with knitting, let's talk about my yarn stash. It's starting to build up a little bit. Like, I didn't realize how fast you are building a yarn stash. What I'm trying to do is to only buy the yarn that I'm going to use for the project that I want to do. In theory, this is great. In reality, it's a little bit more challenging. Your girl is on a budget and I can't really afford to buy expensive yarn. And I still want to have quality yarn. So when I can, and you'll see there's two different type of yarn. When I can, I go to the store and I buy the expensive yarn from the local shop, which where I am located right now, there's nothing crazy. I would have to go in the city or in downtown Brooklyn, which I don't really go often. But I see myself going on Temu, unfortunately, to get my yarn. And I have to say, although I'm not very proud of myself for, and that's the dilemma I was referring to before, I'm not very proud of myself for buying stuff on Temu for two main reasons. The first one, I'm not sure how the animal and the people are treated, if they're fairly paid, if the animals are treated properly. And then the pollution, I'm not sure how much pollution, how eco-friendly those factories are when they dye the wool. My shopping experience on Temu is not enjoyable at all. They are so aggressive with their marketing and they try to have you spend more than what you want, and they give you a million discounts so that you can buy things that you didn't even come here for that, So I learned to stay focused when I'm on Temu and to only buy what I'm here for. In this case, I am buying their merino wool, which is 95% merino. This is what the skin looks like. They come in bags of 10. I have to say the quality is pretty good. You're gonna see what's on my needles right now is with this wool. This is what I'm making the darning cardigan with. Let me see if I can find, hold on, let me grab my phone because I know it's on my phone. Here it is. Okay, so this merino wool cost me about $15 for a bag of 10 skins. It's a total of 500 grams. So now, when you look at the different vendors on Temu, I realize that most of the time they'll show you beautiful pictures of the wool. They'll show you all the different colors they have. They'll even show you a little video on how the wool knits and the end result that they get, which is fine. But as far as the details on what the wool is made of, you really have to dig for the information. So I do not buy if I don't have enough information. I need to know what the composition of the wool is exactly. In this case, we have 95% wool and 5% polyester. It weighs 500 grams per pack, and it's a pack of 10 pieces, like I said earlier. In this vendor, I know the approximate length of each skin. So each skin is about 120 meters or 393 feet per 50 grams. So that's 50 grams. So is the conversion right? 120 meters, is that 393 feet? Hey Siri, how many feet in 100 meter? 328. Thank you. They're off by a lot because I have 328 and on their website they said 393. Anyways, all that to say that I will not buy from a vendor that does not give me the composition, the exact composition of the product, in this case wool and polyester, and the weight of the skims, and that's the hardest one to get, is the length, the approximate length. This vendor did, that's why I bought from them. Also, you want to take a look at the reviews, make sure that people are happy with their products, but take it with a grain of salt, because again, Temu is super aggressive on their marketing, and they push people to give good reviews so that they can sell more products. So that's that. So that's what I'm doing my cardigan with. And then I wanted cashmere, so I bought cashmere from Temu again, because it was, oh, did I give you the price? Yes, I did, $15. The cashmere the cashmere that I got are these two colors right here, $20, but I feel like when I bought them they were cheaper than $20. So we have 6 skins per bags, and let me see what other detail they give me here. We are talking about 100% cashmere, and I do not have the length on this one, but this is what the skins look like. You guys, I will show you the Sophie scarves that I have knitten with these, and I really love them, especially this one. This one I messed up a little bit, but we'll get into it. That's pretty much all I got on wait, I forgot to mention that each bag comes with, I believe this to be a nylon thread, you know, it's like elastic, a little bit stretchy, so it gives a little bit more, I don't know if my camera is going to pick up on that, but it gives a little bit more structure to your project, right? And again, I'll show you my 2 Sophie scarf. I knitted one with this and one without, and you can definitely tell the difference between the two. And they come with a whole bunch of them. I believe that they're nylon based, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, now let's move on to, wait, actually I'm not done. This is a little sample that I did with the first cashmere that I got, and this does not have the nylon thread with it, and it looks pretty good. You see I did a little bit of ribbing, I did an increase. I was just testing my skills a little bit, and I wanted to see what it will look like on a cardigan. Okay, next we are, next we're going to see the better quality, I think, yarn. I got this yarn when I went to Boston for a weekend to visit a girlfriend. I went into a very, very cute yarn store. I will try to find it and put it in the link down below. They do sell online, and I got some of the most precious yarn I own. Of course, a lot more expensive, but so pretty and so soft. I'm gonna start with, well, this one. This one I bought it to make the Sophie shawl. So it's like bigger than the scarf that I'm wearing right now. This is what the yarn looks like, and it is from the brand of Fiber Co. Road to China. It is a sports yarn with 65% alpaca, 15% silk, 10% camel, and 10% cashmere. And it weighs 50 grams per skin. Each skin cost me $23 or $22 because there was a discount at the shop because they were celebrating their 10th year anniversary, so it would have cost me more. So 150 gram of this beautiful yarn cost me $22, let's say. I got 2 of those. And then I also got this one, which is exactly the same thing but with a different color, with a light pink, and this is the one that I'm wearing today. And I made the Sophie scarf, and I'm left with a little bit. But yeah, I think that's it. This is my little yarn collection. It's not much, but it's enough for what I'm doing right now. And then I want to show you my needles next. So of course, when I ordered from Temu the yarn, I also ordered needles that I can't show you because I had to throw them away, because most of the time at Temu you get what you pay for. And those needles broke on me. I was so happy and hopeful when I first used them. But the cardigan that I'm making is a merino that I doubled, so it's a pretty heavy cardigan, and two needles didn't make it through the weight, so they broke. Voila. So then I went on Amazon, the upper, the what's to say, the competitor that is a little bit higher end, I want to say, than Temu, and I got the next best needles that I could get on a budget from Knit Peaks Option. I will link them down below. They are circular interchangeable needles, and that's what I've been knitting since for the past 3 weeks, I want to say. I've been knitting my 3 Sophie scarf and my darling cardigan on these, and I have absolutely no problem. They can take the weight of my heavy yarn, and they're very smooth. I prefer the wooden needle to the metal. I like the feel of the wool better than metal. Yeah, I have nothing much to say. I will link it down below, but I'm very satisfied and happy with them. What I need, what I will need next is probably a double, what you call that again? Double pointed needle. Voila. But right now I can do without it, so I'm not going to spend the money on that. Okay, next we are going to talk about the Sophie scarves that I have made so far. All right, so the first one that I made is the one out of the alpaca, cashmere, silk, and what else? Alpaca, silk, camel, and cashmere, from the wool that I bought in Boston. And it's the one that I think I'm wearing the most, because I love the color, because I really like the color. Now I have to say, this is how it looks like. It's a little bit wrinkled because of course I'm wearing it, but I have to say, when I first wore it, it was a little itchy around my neck. It took me a minute to get used to it. I think the more I wear it, the softer it gets, but the first week that I wore it, I was like, oh, you know, I was like doing this. Then I decided to go with the cashmere, and I made this one. Now this one is a flop as far as I'm concerned. Why? Because first of all, it's too long. I followed the exact measurement, but it's too long. The reason being is that I think my needle size was too big. I am not yet into the habit of writing down what needle size I use and yada yada yada, so I don't remember what needle size I use, but it must have been either 375 or a 4, because this is huge. Like, this is really, like, really, comment tu dis, elongated. Also, I used a double thread, so I used 2 threads to make this, but I did not use the nylon thread that came with it. So I don't know, maybe the fact that the needle size was a bit too big and that there was nothing to keep the yarn tight together, I end up having something that's a little bit on the looser side. Now that being said, it's still a wearable scarf. Ella loves to wear this one. She's actually, I had to take it from her bedroom because she was wearing it. And I think that I'm going to do it again, but this time with a smaller needle size and with the nylon thread to hold it. Also, when you look at the sample that I did before, definitely use the smaller needle size there. It's obvious, like you can tell how much tighter this is compared to, well, it's not the same point, right? It's not the same knitting pad technique, but yeah, I can definitely do better. Actually, I did better, because the third and last Sophie scarf that I knitted was done with this color cashmere that I got on Temu, and this one looks very, very similar to the one that I did with the Boston yarn, right? It's actually thicker because I doubled it and I used the nylon thread, so it feels thicker, it is warmer, and I have to say that I prefer to wear this one because it's a lot softer around against my skin than this alpaca mix. So voila. That's that for my Sophie scarf. Those are the 3 Sophie scarves that I did, and I did them throughout the month of March. It took me pretty much 1 weekend to finish the scarf, so it was pretty easy to do, hence the fact that I did 3 of them. And it's a nice, easy and quick little project that you can take with you everywhere. For example, when I go in the city for a booking, I have quite a long journey to get there, especially in the subway, because I don't live close to Manhattan. So it's nice to bring my little Sophie scarf knitting project. I throw that in my handbag. It doesn't take much space, and I can knit in the subway, and I love it. It's so much more relaxing. You put your knitting and you have a podcast or some music in your ears, and I have to say sometimes I miss my stop because of that. So, you know, but that's that. Now let me show you what is on my needles. Bon, you already know what's on my needles. It is the Darling cardigan from Kutova Kika, but let me show you how it looks like. It's a work in progress, so please don't judge me too hard. But but this is what it currently looks like. Let me not poke my eye with this guy up. You start with the back, then you increase, and then you pick up on top, and then you do the front, and then you do the ribbing at the bottom. At some point you have to join. There I had to add more stitches than what was asked or was recommended on the pattern because it couldn't fit my armhole. And then next I was supposed to do the sleeves, but one of my good friends told me if you do the sleeves you're not going to be able to wear it in the spring, summertime, but if you keep it as a vest you'll be able to wear it, and then once the weather starts to get colder you can add the sleeves and you get a lot of more wear from your pattern. And I thought that was genius. So instead of doing the sleeve, I decided to pick up the front, and I don't remember how you call this part, but I decided to do this part here. Of course I made a lot of little mistakes along the way, like this one right here, which I couldn't fix. I tried my best to fix my mistake as much as I could. I think I'm gonna film it in flat so you can see better. This is where my Darling cardigan is at this point. So I picked up all around here, and I started to knit. So what I don't understand is why this is longer here. I don't really know what happened there. I made a boo-boo here, which I don't know how to fix, so it's gonna be like that. The length is a crop. Well, it reaches my high hips, my hip bones, like right here. So on a high-waisted pair of pants, it's perfect. But yeah, I'm pretty happy now. It's not perfect. There are places where there's a little imperfection. Sometimes, let me show you the back. Sometimes the tension is slightly different, especially in the back. I had a boo-boo here that I was able to fix at some point. So I started this that's the first thing I started actually. I started this little cardigan on February 3rd or 2nd, and I went hard all February, beginning of March, and then I kind of got tired of it. I really wanted to do a quick and easy little project, so I stopped, I put it aside, and I did 3 Sophie scarf in a row. And I think 2 weeks ago I started this again, or last week I started my cardigan again. I am very motivated to finish it, and to be honest, as much as I like the idea of not doing the sleeves yet, I really want to learn how to do the sleeves because I've never done any sleeves in my life. I mean, I've never done any cardigans in my life, so I'm wanting to learn how to make a sleeve so that I can make them again, and but so far, you know what, I'm pretty proud of myself. I am following a pattern, and when I don't understand, I can always go back to her videos, and that's really a big deal for me. I hope that by the end of this, once I am done with this cardigan, I will be more comfortable just following a pattern without needing a video as a crutch. You know what I mean? All right, now that I show you what's on my needles and my finished project, let's go on my Ravelry and see what's on my wish list, on my favorites. Okay, and again, I will link my Ravelry in the description box if you want to take a look. It's mostly spring and summer projects, right? Because that's where I am at right now. The first one is this camisole from, what's her name? Kaidri, I think. This is really something that I would wear every day, all day. This is really my style. I'm a V-neck person, or a bateau neck, round neck. I'm not so much of a tight round neck. This is why the first project I did is a cardigan, because I have this big opening, and that's more my style. So this camisole right here, especially when it has a V in the front and in the back, is definitely something that has my name written all over it. And I think the yarn she used for it is cashmere. But yeah, that's the first one that I am looking at. Then this cache-cœur, how you call this in English, darling wrap. This wrap sweater is something that I would love to make. I'm not sure that I have the skills to make it. It doesn't look that complicated though. I'm maybe I'm overestimating myself, or I don't know, but this is something that I would love to make. I really like cache-cœur, no, pas cache-cœur, that's French, wraps. I really like them, but I don't wear them because I'm yet to find one that fits my body properly. So I'm thinking if I make it myself, it will fit, right? So yeah, this one is from Pernil Larsen, and it is in my favorite. Again, it will be linked below. This one I put it in because I really like the lace work on the top now, and I love that it's a t-shirt. Now it's not something I'm gonna make anytime soon, but it is in my favorite because this is absolutely beautiful. Let me show you a little bit of deep. Look at this. So pretty. Oh, that color, you guys, that color. So yeah, that's one, and it's from who again? It's from, oh, it's called Summer Ella. It has my daughter's name on it. Are you kidding? And it's from Le Knit by Lene Holmes Samsoi. Next one, there's that little V-neck t-shirt with the cuffs. I like how the cuffs are like short, and I like the texture of it, you know. The next one, I really like that one too. So it's more of a straight neck, but it's not a tight round neck. I like how the armhole are open and quite low. I like the dripping. This is super cute. Now I feel like the yarn that you must use for this has to be fingering or sports at the most, but it can't be too thick. right? I would like for this to be a very thin yard. This one, what's your name? Is called the Soho top from Kaidri. This sweater is beautiful, but again, it looks very challenging and techniques that I don't master yet, like the crossing of the yarn. I'm not sure how to do that. This one I will definitely do. It's blouse number 1 from my favorite thing. It's so simple. That's probably gonna be one of my first sweaters. It's too easy and it's a style that I like, so definitely something that I will be doing either in the fall, end of summer, but stay tuned for that. What's next? I have how many more next? Oh, putain, I have quite a few, huh, you guys? I'm not sure I'm going to do all of them, but this cute little vest, not sure I'm going to do that. This also, it's in there. I'm not sure I'm going to make it either, but I like the style. This one is a slight pullover. I love the finishing details. It's a lot of eye cording, I believe, in this one, if I remember well. You know what I like? I like the finishing. It doesn't show, but you see on the neck and on the bottom. Can you zoom in? There you go. You see this right here? I love this finishing. I think it's super delicate, super nice. This one, I think I'm gonna try to make it too in the future. Okay, next, I like this detail of, first of all, I would love to learn how to do a hoodie on a sweater, but I really like this detail of the different pattern that creates a one line in the back. I'm not sure if it's in the front too. Yeah, this is too complicated for me right now. I'm not quite there yet. I just want to learn how to do a sweater first before I go into the craziness. But the back one, no, but this is gorgeous. Look at this. This is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not there yet, but this is something I would love to learn how to do. And this, I think I can do that, or something similar. This I can do, you know. Anyways, what else do we have here? This is cute, and I would love to make that. And again, I love the different stitch that they're using here. And